So it's a little over 70 days to the 2026 FIFA World Cup happening in North America. And tonight we're speaking to the Minister for Youth and Sports. Actually, Minister for Sports and Recreation. He's no longer youth. There's a youth minister. Kofi Adams, you're laughing at me. Kofi, it's good to have you on the show. We're talking Black Stars preparation for the World Cup. We're talking fundraising. We're talking other aspects of sports, new stadia to be built, revamping athletics, all in the next 50 minutes. Stay with us. Welcome. So our guest is also the MP for Buem, and he's the Minister for Sports and Recreation. You were named on 31st January last year. You were sworn in on 7th February. So you've done a year, a month, and 2 weeks. Have you started showing working?
Well, let me first thank you for the opportunity to speak to Ghanaians through this great platform. And your platform go very far, and so it's really true that the World Cup is here and Ghana is participating. There's some work to show, but I don't think that is enough yet. Considering what it is that we set out to do, we still have a lot of work to do and show. So I'm happy for the little progress, but then there's that desire to even work more and achieve more, because so much must happen in the area of sports, because as a country we do not lack the talent. We have it in all fields and in all endeavor. What it needs is a structured support system and creating the opportunity for the talents that we have to be able to grow, so you benefit from all fronts. Meet an average Ghanaian, he knows so much about clubs in Europe and other parts. The same person is not desirous of knowing same locally. So it means also the interest is there. So the talent is there because there are Ghanaians playing in almost all the leagues around the world and doing so well. So the talent is there. The interest is there because you have Ghanaians even in the remotest part of our country who are donning the jerseys of many European clubs, and they know virtually every player, how many goals the person has scored. Sometimes even the speed that the person controls the ball in various sports. So the interest is also there. So what we need to do is to be able to identify the talents being there and the interest being there, how to marry these two and grow it locally.
You seem to be talking about just football, although your remit is from athletics, badminton, cricket, all kinds. But the answer tells me that you are very football focused. So
you see, you want to use your biggest brand and what interests the people to introduce others in. So if I use what do not interest them, I may not get their attention immediately. So you have to use what interests them.
We are very interested in athletics. And we are very interested in boxing.
Athletics is big. That is, look, all of us, during our school days, the only time we engaged the most was during the athletics and not when they are playing football. For football, only the ballers...
I actually went to the stadium because of athletics first, before football.
That's true. So athletics is big. But you know the problem, we have never really invested in it. There are a number of regions. We have 16 regions. I think only 6 regions can demonstrate athletic tracks. But even for some of them, it's in a mess. So it means you have almost about 10 regions that you do not have athletic tracks. So Greater Accra has University of Ghana and maybe the warm-up tracks that we have at Bortheman. Eastern region have, which has been almost damaged. Ashanti region we have at Babayara.
So you're talking about tartan tracks now?
Yeah.
Professional running tracks.
In northern region, we have the Aliu Mahama Stadium. Then central region, we have Cape Coast. That's all.
Even Greater Accra.
And then maybe western region.
Even Greater Accra, I can say that their intercore is damaged because Legon will not allow them to do intercore there. And if you go to Elwak and Legon,
but Elwak is not in a mess.
And Accra. So basically, our intercore in Greater Accra is not is down. But let me just start from the beginning. Some ministries are clear. If you ask the roads minister what his target is, you say, when I came, I met X kilometers of roads, and I'm going to live with Y. Minister of Finance, you can tell, stabilize the economy, make sure we raise our revenue, bring inflation down. I'm not very sure how to assess a minister of sports?
Well,
Is it qualification for tournaments? Is it...
Well,
okay, what objective did the president set for you?
So the objective of the president is, even in the renaming of the ministry, you can see his intentions.
Okay.
That one, make sure that recreation become a core part of the sports. In other words, don't just look at competitive sports. Look at sports that will let people be engaging, be active, because don't forget that non-communicable diseases are on the rise. And the basic reason for that is that we live a lot more inactive life when our diets have completely changed. So do something about recreation to create that awareness. We are working on that. Again, of course, like you said, tournaments, qualification to tournaments, and performance at tournaments. If you looked at the Black Queens, our senior female national team, post 2016, they have not played in the top 4 until 2025, when we got them winning a bronze. And they have again qualified for another women's AFCON. Our senior national team failed to qualify for AFCON. But we have managed to get them qualifying for the World Cup in such a short time. Again, governments after governments, ministers after ministers have talked about funding being the challenge, the biggest of challenge for sports and sports development. With the blessing of His Excellency, the President and Cabinet, we have been able to successfully pass a sports fund. And today, we have a sports fund with various sources of getting money into the fund that can allow for purposeful planning. That when you say you want to do A, you know that right, so you are not going to rely on episodic support from central sources or going begging individuals anytime you want to have a certain sport, because you have a fund that is dedicated, that has been passed, the board is in place, administrators appointed, and they are working. So a structured process that you know when you give your money, that money can be used for what it is intended for. Again, school sports. You just talked about athletics and the challenges that school sports has faced. We have GES organizing the basics and secondary. Then you have, when you go to the colleges of education, you have COHESA that is responsible for that sector. Then when you get to the university level, you have GATUSA for technical universities, you have GUSA for the main universities, and then you have the private schools also doing their own thing. But all the people involved are all Ghanaians. We have decided to have a structured system where right from the primary, there is a proper coordination all the way to the tertiary by the appointment of the school sports coordinator and his deputy. The idea is to lift this from a coordinating secretariat to something like even an agency that will be responsible for school sports, that GES can continue to teach the sports as physical education, but in terms of the execution, the practice, this system will be responsible for it. That has also been done.
So qualifying for tournaments is important. Revamping athletics seems critical. So those seems to be your top 2. All right. I know there's boxing and other things, but let me come to football. Since we are in the national mood, teams getting ready. Do you think we are ready for the World Cup? And I'm asking this on 2 grounds. As a team, and also from a country point of view, organization-wise, financial and all that, are we ready?
Well, I can't say we are 100% ready, but we have set systems in place that we will be sure to be ready when we have to be ready. Financially, government has committed some budgetary funds for the team, as we saw in the 2026 budget presented on behalf of His Excellency by the Finance Minister and so approved. So within the Appropriation Act, we have some money secured for the team.
When you say for the team, meaning what?
You know, World Cup goes way beyond the team, just the Black Stars playing. There are a number of things that you will have to do. There are a number of activations you want to do because you want to also promote the country beyond just the 90 minutes that they will feature when they are playing. So we have other expenses that we incur.
Pre-World Cup or during World Cup?
Both pre and during the World Cup.
Really?
Yes,
And how much is that?
We'll come to that. That was what we put all together, giving us a figure of 30 million we are targeting to raise.
I thought you said it has been appropriated already.
No. I'm talking about what goes to
So 30 million is what we need.
30 million is what we need.
Dollars.
Not yet $30 million, or CD equivalent, of course,
But
of
is,
30 million.
is there not appropriation in the budget for the World Cup as given by Minister of Finance?
That's what I'm saying. So there's an appropriation in the World Cup that is about $16 million. $16 million, which the team can utilize during the World Cup, i.e., if we are staying from group to the final.
$16 million?
Yes, $16 million. And
when you say for the team, I want to understand, for their feeding, for their training,
their feeding,
hotel, whatever.
Their training, hotel accommodation, per diems, bonuses.
You are paying the players, and you are still paying bonuses to Black Stars?
Yes, of course. It's part of the tradition that we have. You can,
but
and
I thought you were a
not,
reset government.
It's not only Ghana. No, but bonuses are not things that are bad.
But a lot of countries don't pay. I don't think England pays their.
No, they pay.
They don't pay them bonuses.
They pay. No, they pay at a stage. They pay at. But what happens is that most of these players donate these monies back to charity.
I've never heard that they've been paid a bonus for winning the match.
A lot of countries pay, but then what happens is that they put it back in. And
but $60 million is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
So why do you still need to raise more money?
Football is expensive.
I know. Let's take one by one. $60 million is what has been budgeted for the Black Stars. Oh no, please wait for me. See, why do you need to raise more money if you've been giving $60 million already?
So I will come to why we need to raise more money. But let me also answer the expensive part. You know, should the team stay all the way to finals and spend the 60 million we are talking about here, they will virtually be making directly from FIFA support $50 million.
So which means that the 60 million could even be a loan.
It can
because
even be
the 60 million that has been appropriated, if we won the World Cup, FIFA will give us 50 million. Even if we leave at the first round.
Even if we leave at the first round,
the amount they'll give us.
We already have about 11 million. Even if we don't do well.
$11 million from FIFA.
From FIFA.
Which goes back to the question. So why are you even worrying yourself?
Why shouldn't we worry ourselves?
Atufosin has given you 16 million. FIFA will give you at least 11 million, even if you leave the first round.
It doesn't.
So it means that you don't have any problem.
Let me say that the FIFA money don't come before the tournament.
So that's why it's an advance. So it's an advance.
So advance from who?
From the government of Ghana to the Black Stars.
Because government is also going to get money that you can reinvest, and what the finance minister have done for us, which is so good, because we've been able to put a sports fund in place. He says, when you go for tournaments, monies you make from tournament are not part of my consideration during the budget approval processes. He didn't factor it as a source of revenue. So when you do well, whatever money you make, put it in the sports fund. 100%. Government is not going to take it and put it into the central budget to decide to use it for any other
So the
thing.
amount he's giving you is he is not expecting you to pay back through tournament performance.
He's not expecting us to pay.
So what's your plan that when we get, let's assume we get to the second round,
yes,
and we get maybe $20 million,
yeah,
you will put all of that into the sports
fund?
fund?
So we'll put all of that into the sports fund. And we will use it now to develop various sports that you complain. We were just talking about athletics not being given the space.
So it's not going to a football fund, it's going to a sports fund?
No, it's not going to go into. We don't have a football fund.
So it's going to a sports fund?
We have a sports fund, Ghana Sports Fund. And it is to be used in the development of every sport. Indeed, some great footballers started as swimmers.
Fair enough.
Some were just
no. I understand that. I'm not even. I'm just concerned about a couple of things. If FIFA is giving you 11 million for first round, it means that he has.
FIFA is going to give. FIFA has not given.
Just a minute.
No.
If FIFA is giving every country 11 million for first round, I believe the calculation is that should be the average amount to cost a team to get that far. So essentially, they are paying you back because the entertainment you provide and the money they get, they pay you from it. Yeah. So I'm still asking, what is the point of raising extra funds? What are we using it for?
But you've just said if FIFA is giving you 11 million, the 11 million is for how far you can stay within the group, because everybody who qualifies is getting that.
Yeah, so it's almost like they've calculated the cost of participating and they are paying it back to you.
And I'm saying that they've calculated the cost of participation up to the group stage. Because everybody who qualifies is coming to partake in the group stage.
Yes.
It is when you do better, then you go to round of what?
And you have already been given 16 by the government, which means that the government expects you to go beyond even the first round.
Yes, I know that the government expects us to go. The government expects us that we will go, and I seated here think that we should go all the way and be among the top 4.
Fair enough. Do you have a budget of how much you need if you are getting to that final 4?
That's the 16 that I'm talking about.
Fine. So why are you asking for more?
We are asking for more because there are other related expenses.
Like what?
That comes. You see, when you take a team, there are others who go along with a team that will incur cost. Apart from the 26 players, the 22 officials of various categories as submitted. You have other officials that will go.
How many officials are going with the team?
We also have a situation
Do you know how many
where
officials are going with the team in total?
of course, from the FA, you will surely have the FA president, the general secretary,
all on the ticket of the state.
Well, I'll say state. But then one thing is also clear. The state is not committing budgetary funds for such additional persons. And that is why we've introduced a fundraising process from the corporate to be able to support all these categories of persons, including supporters union.
What I want to know, and what Ghanaians want to know is, how many people is the state going to cater for with state funds? We are not talking about funds raised by...
Well, that's why I've said the state's responsibility is to the team.
So the 60 million is for the team?
It's for the team.
But the team includes the 26 players,
the 26
coaching
players,
staff.
The coaching staff.
And who else?
That's the team.
Does it include management committee?
Management committee are part.
Does it include FA officials?
No.
So that's why I'm asking, how many numbers? So 26 players, how many officials plus
26
the 26 players?
Plus the 22 officials plus the management team members.
26 plus 22, and management team is about 7?
No, they are 5.
Hey, but that's a lot too. Yeah. So 22, so that's 48 plus 5.
Yeah.
That's 53.
They be
so the
53,
Team Ghana is 53.
53 or 56. 53 or 56.
26 players, 22. But why are the officials so many?
Well, because you need them.
22.
So, for example...
Let's go through the list. 22 is there.
So, you need a coach.
Otoado.
You need assistant coaches.
How many?
In our case, I think we have 3 assistant coaches.
So there's a goalkeeper's coach?
Then you have a goalkeeper's coach.
No, so assistant is not a part of the goalkeeper's?
No, assistant is not part of the goal. There's a goalkeeper's
3 assistant coaches to
Yes,
Otoado?
3 assistant coaches.
Do we know who these people are?
What is happening is that these are not coaches that you are paying salary. They are coaches that you have taken from other teams, other national teams, to add up. So, for example, the Black Queens coach, Kim, is part of the assistant coaches. He's not on any additional salary other than what he is paid as the Queen's coach.
But he's supporting Otoado?
He's supporting Otoado.
What's his name?
For this period. Kim.
And then who else?
He's supporting, and then we have Allen, who have also come in fresh. He doesn't manage any of our national teams.
To support Otoado?
To support Otoado. He is also not going to be on salary. He would only be on the bonuses.
No problem.
So,
then who's the third
kind
guy?
of performance. Then the third one is our U20 coach, Desmond.
So you are basically saying national team coaches are on duty for Black Stars too. So Black Queens and Desmond should join.
They are joining.
They will take their regular salary.
They will take their regular salary.
But if we win, they will get a bonus.
They will get a bonus
no
when they win.
So that's 3. Then there's a goalkeeper's coach.
Then you come to goalkeeper's coach, Fatah Dauda.
Okay.
Then you come to, we actually would have needed 2 goalkeepers coaches, but we are doing 1.
No problem. So it means you have 4.
Then you have what they call the physical trainers. They are different from coaches. The physical trainers are different.
Yeah, the guys who take them to the drills.
So you have John Pinto and then one other person.
How many are they?
There are 2.
So 2 physical trainers.
Then you have what we call the video analyst. Actually, this is a term that is not like video as they show on TV that they analyze. They do a lot, including even scouting. And this time round, because the tournament is in 3 different countries, and you don't know who you will be coming against later, you have to have an eye.
So these video analysts, are they going to physically travel to watch the match?
Yes, they will travel.
But I thought they were called video analysts because if you are going to play Mexico next, you take the Mexico video against South Africa, analyze it. Why do you have to go to Mexico to watch it?
That is how it is. But sometimes, that is why sometimes when they are training, they say they don't want to have anybody around in their final training because physically observing helps you more.
So how many physical coaches?
That is why people.
How many physical coaches do we have?
You say physical coaches?
How many? So I'm counting. 3 assistant coaches.
No, I've already indicated the physical trainers as 2.
2.
I've already indicated that one.
So which means you have only 6 in addition.
No, but I haven't finished.
Okay, let's go on.
So we are on. So now you have this video analyst that you must pick. The coach asked for 4.
He wants 4 video analysts.
4 of that category.
All right.
Then you have what you call the medical doctor.
Okay.
You have the medical doctor. That's Dr. Pambo.
Alone or with other people?
With other people, 2 other persons
so there are 3.
that assist. There's a request for another doctor that takes care of other category of persons. So Dr. Pambo, we don't have to leave this responsibility to the team directly.
So Dr. Pambo has 2 assistants, but he will be joined by another doctor.
He has 2 assistants. Then we have Marseille.
Somebody does massaging.
That is where
how many of them?
The players, I think 2 masseuse, 2 physiotherapists.
They are different from masseuse.
Yeah,
I thought physio people
they are completely different when you come to the field of football.
We learn every day.
They are completely different, and this is where the players spends a lot of their time. Assuming that each player will do like 30 minutes. If you don't have enough of this and you don't have enough rooms to take so that at the same time you will have 2 of them functioning, then virtually some of them will not get opportunity to go through this process. So we actually needed more, but we are managing.
So let me go to what I have. 1 coach, 3 assistant coaches, that's 4. 1 goalkeeper's coach, so that makes it 5. 4 video analysts, that makes it 9. 4 doctors, that makes it 13. 2 physiotherapists, that makes it 15. 2 masseurs, that makes it 17.
So then we have a chef.
A chef?
Yeah, we have a chef. And then we have a dietitian.
I see.
And these are 2 different. And the secret is that
so the chef travels with them into the...
Yeah. The chef
so whether they're in Boston, Pennsylvania,
wherever we are.
But when you go to the hotel, doesn't the hotel feed you?
No, so the secret is that there is even FIFA arrangement for food.
Okay.
But mostly, that food is not taken.
So the chef will cook
food
in the hotel?
Not, I won't disclose
where. Or he will bring them food?
I won't disclose where they will bring them food.
I see.
They will bring them food.
And so there's a chef.
So many things happen in sports.
I hear.
That
nobody wants to trust. So
you will have... You don't tell that you are not, but then you prepare it. There are others who may consume that too, in order to be able to keep your team in shape. So you have a chef, you have a dietitian. Then you have also what they call the kids officer.
Kids person.
Yeah, kids officer.
So that's 20. So now you're on 20.
Yeah, you have kids officer. Then you have what they call the media person. There's also a media liaison.
21.
You will have a national security person that is with the team.
1 person?
Yeah, one person. So that's what 20, we have handled. But there's a proposal that we make it 2 for the World Cup. We haven't analyzed.
So you have reached 22. So you are saying that.
So you see, when you hear the number, you think that it's so big.
The delegation is.
But when you start analyzing it step by step, and
right.
see.
We'll take a break. We'll come back and do more. This is the point of view. I almost said this is the Black Stars. That's how the thing is going. We are talking to Kofi Adams. We are trying to just gauge our readiness for the World Cup. They're also doing a big fundraising, and he's going to tell us why they need that money and what level of preparation is needed for the Black Stars to do well. in the US, Mexico, and Canada. Stay with us. The point of view tonight is gauging the Black Stars' readiness for the World Cup, but that's not all we're doing. We're talking about sports generally. Our guest is the Minister for Sports and Recreation, Kofi Adams. He's MP for Boem. He's listed all the 22 different people who will be joining the 26-man team, plus a few officials who are called the Management Committee 5. So over 53 people going for the World Cup. The budget is... Do you have a budget?
Yes, we have a budget.
And you say that the 16 million is what has been given as an initial amount.
So this 16 million was proposed during the consideration of the 2026 budget.
Yeah.
And this year, I have followed up and asked the FA if anything have happened that will throw out this budget offline. They said no. So it means that we have a budget.
So that's about 170 million cedis. No problem.
No, it's about 150 per the exchange
Okay.
rate.
So why are you doing a fundraiser last week or so?
So we are doing a fundraiser because per the Justice Jamefe Commission's report, the state government is not to use budgetary funds to support fans' participation in a tournament. But we know the role of these fans, organized fans, in tournaments such as this. You cannot go just empty-handed and say, oh, you mobilize individuals to be there. You need a certain level of what? Energy. That will attract and bring on board the unorganized ones. So we are preparing to send our supporters union that have been there with us, that has been loyal with us during the qualifying process.
You want to send the supporters union to the World Cup?
Sure, they will be going.
But Ghana is based in Boston, or we are playing in Boston.
We played in
Pennsylvania
Toronto
and Toronto.
first,
These
Boston
are,
and Pennsylvania.
If you ask me,
I've always said it's a blessing.
Massachusetts has the highest concentration of Ghanaians in North America.
Just don't even go to the general Massachusetts. Just go to Worcester alone.
Yeah. So why do you need to carry funds? So why don't you? Wait, hold on. Let me ask you. Why don't you rather liaise with the embassy? We are doing. No, let me finish the question.
No, I know where you are.
Yeah, because my question is why? Because we have competing needs. It's cheaper to get a Ghanaian based in America who lives in Worcester to go and watch a match in Boston than to move them from Accra. In a country that is trying to recover from an economic crisis in 2020.
You are so right. You see, when I was outside this sector, I thought same. But when you go in, you realize that you need, it's like preparing compost. Why don't you just collect the rubbish and the rest and put it together to prepare compost? But you need an already prepared compost to mix up with the raw materials to be able to prepare compost. You need an organized group. That organized group, that drumming and then the rest, the activities they have done with the team now energizes those you mobilize ordinarily to the stadium and they charge up. Mostly when you go to the stadium, you will see the supporters are at a certain point, the organized supporters union. When they start the singing, they are the ones that even when all of you are sitting on tenterhooks and everybody is afraid, they continue to energize the atmosphere.
But Jamefe said we shouldn't use state resources to send.
Yes, he said we shouldn't use it.
So your solution
So we have
is
to raise. He stated the solution in the report, which government's white paper accepted. That we have to mobilize. We should raise money.
So how many people do you hope to send?
Well, the cost is quite high, so we're thinking about not doing more than 800. The supporters union are plenty.
So you want to send 800 Ghanaians?
Well, that is the plan.
How much will, if we are sending it, how much will it cost us to send them?
If we are successful at sending, the calculation we did, even at the group stage, it will cost you about $9,250 per head. Even at the group
Are
stage,
the funds contributing anything to this amount?
well, they have to pay for their visa fee, of course. That should be their contribution. They also have to find something to feed themselves, because I've made it very clear. We're not going to, a lot of people have come to the ministry looking for feeding contracts and what have you. I say we don't have anything.
So
like
you are
that.
sending 800, hoping to send 800 people.
That's the
You will pay their air ticket and their hotel
we
and
pay
their
their
travel.
air tickets, accommodation, their ground transport, and we are also arranging, of course.
And this is
from the
roughly
hotel-
$10,000 per head.
Yes, roughly $10,000 per, not up to 10,000. It could be less.
So
It could be
between
less.
90 to 100,000 cedis.
Yeah, it could be.
But
be
isn't it
less.
better to say, look, people who want to go to the World Cup to cheer the Black Stars, go through the visa process. Let us know. Let's assume that by May we realize that maybe 500 Ghanaians have money to
Well,
go. Can I finish my question? If those 500 people have said they are going, then you can say, we want to organize you when you get to the US to help you as a state. I'm coming.
Oh, yes.
Because most countries, funds will go on their own.
So
why do you have to spend 9,000?
So what you are saying is just the same as organizing Ghanaians there. What I'm talking to you about is that we have had supporters unions that have existed over the years.
But we are in a reset government.
And I'm saying
so we
that
are resetting things. So
this
the fact that we've done it over the years doesn't mean we should continue.
That is why we are not doing it haphazardly. That is why we are not taking committed resources of the state to do this.
But don't forget that it's a opportunity cost, because you said when we get any money from the World Cup, you put it in a sports fund, which will support all sports.
But it doesn't mean
so,
that.
No, I'm saying that. So let's not make it seem as if because people are donating money, whatever money we get is for everybody in sports.
And I'm saying that the money you are taking from the people who are donating, there's a purpose for it. So you can't use this idea that I want to do this and for which people contribute. Then when they have finished contributing, then you tell them that, oh no, we are not going to do it.
So let me get this straight.
What?
The money we are raising is to support just the World Cup.
Support the World Cup.
So to support fans going.
Whatever, and then
additionally for the Black Stars or whatever.
Additionally for the Black Stars, and whatever is left also will be put in the what? Sports
So it's
fund.
whatever is left.
And again, per the sports fund law, the Act 1159, every money raised for any tournament, not just World Cup, 2% automatically must go into the fund. So even if we are not able to do our targeted amount, and we did only, let's say, even $10 million, 2% of that must go into the sports fund, even before you start spending. So there is the 2% which is legal in the act, in the sports act, that you must pay into the sports fund. Then after your expenditure, whatever is left goes into the sports fund.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying that should you not be minded, based on just what you said, that whatever is left, that you are more frugal. Because even if we raise 30 million, you should be able to say, look, if we can spend 5 million to take people to the World Cup, the 26 million left will go into sports development. Should that not be your objective? Because you are telling me that because football is our leading cash cow, let's use that to raise money to support other.
I think
other
you are not listening to me, maybe, but I've said that's exactly what I'm saying. That we will be very, very, very frugal. But being frugal doesn't mean that don't take your organized support union to a tournament.
Fair enough. But why 800? Why not 200?
It can be 200. I'm saying that we've set 800 as our estimate. It can be 200. It can even be less.
Because you want I'm not quarreling with you on saying. I'm just talking about your premise that you want to use the World Cup and its appeal to raise as much money for other sports.
Yes.
Which is why when Ibrahim Mahama comes and gives 5 million, Stoneboy gives 81,000, Shatta gives 100,000. It's for sports in general, although the World Cup is the driver. We don't have any problem with that. But there are people who believe that the FA has not been very accountable and transparent in the way it manages the Black Stars in general.
But you can also tell that...
Can you let me ask the question?
Okay.
We have a lot of time, just relax.
Are you sure you have a lot of time?
Who is going to be in charge of these funds raised? Is it within your remit as ministry or the FA?
So there are many angles. But truth be told, and if you are a follower and observer of the sports ecosystem, that a lot of transparency is being introduced into our sporting space, because the president knows very well, and I do same, that the only way you can build the trust from the people is being transparent.
Correct.
And so right from the word go, the president indicated during his State of the Nation address that budgets or estimates and even expenditure of our national team's assignment will be made public. And so he made the work a bit easier for me. I remember when I made the budgets public, people came after me and said it should not be done. People would say, why are they asking the Ministry of Sports and then by extension the FA to make their budget public, and they are not asking other ministries? But we understand clearly that we need trust for people to even come to the stadium.
Correct.
To watch. We need trust for people, for corporates to put in their money to support the growth of sports. And so the key element to building the trust is transparency. And that is why we are working very hard to be transparent.
So for how much have we raised since we started the
drive
last week?
Including the pledges and everything, we got about $13.2 million.
Okay.
And then 12.5 million Ghana Cedi, including pledges. There are still some indications of others.
So you are
coming,
like
coming
close to like half.
Yeah, close to half.
How optimistic are you that you can get the 30?
Well, it looks good because we continue to get calls from persons who want to come and also support.
Okay.
And we are also running a raffle system.
Correct.
Even though that raffle ostensibly is to help ordinary persons also to partake in the World Cup, it is also a revenue generation mechanism. So we want to encourage people to dial *899# and go through the processes of staking the raffle. There are some who don't want to stake the raffle. They just want to donate. And they cannot walk from where they are to come and donate, say, 10 CD or 20 CD or 100 CD, because we are taking all these. You can also do *899*26, because we are in 2026, 26#, and then you donate whatever amount that you want to do. *899*26#, and you can donate.
We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll still have Kofi Adams. We're looking at the Black Stars as a general discussion, but sports in general. He's the Minister for Sports. Don't go away. Welcome back. So we'll take a quick look at the donors so far for the Black Stars sponsorship drive. They're looking for $31 million. The minister says whatever is left will go into developing all sports, athletics, badminton. By the way, there's a different budget line for stadia, right?
Yeah.
The stadia is different.
The stadia is different.
You are building how many stadia?
Well, we intend to do 8.
Have you chosen the regions yet?
The new regions
will all get their stadium.
The new regions automatic. Then we are looking at Upper East and Volta.
So that will be 2 additional to the 5.
2 additional. To this,
but
to
you know, we
6.
already have this National Resource
Centers, the youth resource centers.
And some of them have not been finished.
Yep, some of them have not been
So why don't you finish that one before you build new stadia?
Well, so it's work in progress as far as those ones too are concerned.
But you don't have a budget line for that? Because some of them are like 90% finished.
There's a funding source for the youth resource centers because we were using the National Youth Authority funding that is there to support this. But over the years, monies that go into the central fund. I've seen the whole one. Yeah. And the whole one, the one.
Because if you can get that done,
the Navrongo
football teams can play matches there. They can.
We will deal with that, and we also want to deal with things that also meet a certain standard.
So you do both. You are pledging that before your tenure is over, you will finish the youth.
I should think so. The commitment is such that the youth resource center should be finished, where we have reached. If the sports fund, another challenge. Okay, let me clear this. The National Youth Authority, that was responsible through the agency through which we were developing the youth resource centers, they are now under the Youth Development and Empowerment Ministry. So that is no longer available to the sports and recreation. Right. So government will have to take a decision that these facilities are actually sports-related facilities. So maybe we may have to offload them from the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment to Ministry of Sports and Recreation. So you can give it the drive to finish it. So we can give it the drive.
Before our Austria match, the team was robbed. I don't know whether you were aware and what you found about that, because I'm told the players and our team were robbed, I think the Thursday into the Friday before the game. Yeah. Have you been briefed on that? And what has?
I called Alex on it, and he says they are working around to be able to do investigation. They have reported to the police, and they are checking the system. And the unfortunate initial report we got was that the CCTV was not functioning.
Oh my God. And
so they are checking when it ceased functioning and who was in charge of the hotel.
But are they in a proper
CCTV.
Hotel?
Yeah, they are in a proper hotel. Okay. They are in a proper
So far, hotel. The 13 million, the 12 million, here are some of the donors. Engineers and Planners, $5 million. Goldfields Ghana, $2 million, plus $1 million next year for Black Stars.
Yeah. And they are also doing something for the Black Challenge and also the women's sports.
Jewel Energy, $1 million. Anonymous Person, $1 million. Shatawali, $100,000. Stoneboy, $81,000 plus $20,000. Campaign song production, and then we keep going through. Ordinary citizens who want to...
KGL did 10 million.
Okay, CDs. let me go through this. KGL, 10 million CDs. Serene Insurance, 2 million.
Plus insurance.
And then P&A African Food International, plus Degree Auto Mechanic, $15,000. And then Pay Angel, 100,000. What I was asking is, so ordinary people can also donate?
Yes, ordinary people can also donate. Actually, a chief donated 150,000 Ghana cedi, and he had redeemed the donation. Individuals can donate.
So you publish the full list of donors before the tournament?
Exactly, before the tournament.
And then you publish how the money was spent?
How the money was spent also
and how much is left?
And how much is left that will go into the sports fund. And what the sports fund will be doing with monies that were raised during the World Cup processes. We will indicate that.
We have about 73 days to the World Cup. Yes. I want you to come back before the tournament.
Sure.
To gauge how much we've raised, how ready the team is, and then whether we will send 800 or
less or more.
It's very important. Kofi Adams is the Minister for Sports and Recreation, MP for Boehm. Thank you for being on the program. Thanks for watching. We still go Black Stars, hoping they do well in North America. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.